Here is all Obama has got to do to get any climate change legislation through. He can say that the television station in Detroit has been forced to add an additional color to their temperature charts when they deliver the weather report because of the increased temperatures in Detroit. So what we propose to do to mitigate this problem of climate change is to place a tax of $20 per ton of carbon emitted. This will bring in much needed revenues to the government. Strapped for cash. The credit cards are overextended. We can't borrow any more money. We must tax the people who are responsible for the problem. The utility companies, the oil companies, the pipeline companies. Voters will be very pleased with the results. The voters will be very pleased with the results because what do we care if you steal from him and him, just so long as you don't steal from me. So Obama will steal from somebody else and give you half the money. Half the money. You who are affected by these problems, you who must suffer the heat and the fire and the ice and the snow and the storms, you must be compensated for the wrong committed against you. So everyone will be happy. The voters will ensure that this redistribution, I did mention that the government will keep half. It takes money to redistribute the wealth. You've got to hire people. People require wages. We want the best people. We want loyal people. We want happy people. So we have to pay them a little bit more. You must be compensated for the wrong committed against you. Oh, you think they'll buy that? I think they will. I think any congressman will be elected and reelected and reelected so long as he backs Obama's redistribution. Yes, prices will go up of everything because anything manufactured using electricity, anything transported with gasoline, price of peanut butter will go up, price of cigarettes will go up. Jobs will leave this country, but the voters will be paid. And I'll be in office until I get old and wrinkled and senile. And I'll be socking away money for a retirement estate in Ireland, the Bahamas, Thailand, probably all those places. I'll have a condo in San Francisco, right there with Al Gore. I'll fly around in my jet plane. The world will go to hell, but I'll always have big money and power and prestige. It's really easy to manipulate the people. They're stupid. They're greedy. It's not my fault. Just dealing with what is. It is what it is.
Unusually cold weather and snow in parts of South America have affected thousands of people in several countries. Authorities in Peru, one of the worst hit areas, say that more than 80,000 people in the Andes region could suffer as the most severe snowstorm of the last 10 years continues. cars have been stuck in traffic as heavy snowfall makes roads impassable. Authorities in the capital Lima announced a state of emergency in 10 regions. Crops have been damaged and tens of thousands of cattle, including llamas, sheep, and alpacas, have perished.
That was my silly attempt of putting on a show to get a message across. The charts you saw are the charts used by Jim Hansen in his talk that he's been giving for the past 30 years. And Al Gore took that idea and made a circus out of it. And now comes along this guy named Muller, which you can find out about all this in my recently uploaded videos. Muller, Dr. Muller, physicist, Berkeley, UC Berkeley. In regard to sea level rise, that's what the chart showed. Sea level rise, it goes up so high and it doesn't go any higher, and it drops. It goes up so high and no higher, and then drops. It goes up so high and it goes no higher, and then drops. Why is this? It's because the climate warms from time to time, every 110,000 years. The ice caps on the South Pole and the Greenland ice cap near the North Pole does not melt. There's a whole lot of water still there, a whole lot of ice still there. It doesn't melt. It doesn't melt. It doesn't melt. It has never melted. And it won't melt, because to melt that ice, which stays very cold in the winter and almost as cold in the summer, you have got to raise the temperature of the atmosphere substantially. You've got to literally have a runaway greenhouse effect. You've got to go back to the days of the dinosaurs. And I don't think a little bit of carbon dioxide is going to do that. Even though the effects might be amplified, it's not enough. Suppose, for example, the Antarctic ice sheet is 50 degrees below 0 centigrade all winter long, all black, dark, sunless winter long, and it is about 20 or 30 degrees below 0 during the summer when the sun shines. It's got to go hotter to the tune of 20 or 30 degrees to melt a substantial portion of that. Jim Hansen's runaway greenhouse effect is going to have a hard time doing that.